All right, good morning, Nigeria. We are here again. This is your show on Cool TV, channel 196 on Star Times. Welcome to another very interesting episode of your program. This is Crossfire. My name is Dapo Banjo, and I have with me on the show my co-anchor, Barrister Ishoma Gaine.
Good morning, Nigerians, and welcome to the show. How was your weekend?
My weekend was quite restful. But neither there nor here.
Oh, really? I had a good weekend. Well, congratulations to Côte d'Ivoire. You know, they won the African
Anyway, I wanted Ghana to win anyway,
really,
but
I actually wanted
Côte
d'Ivoire to win, and I'm happy they won.
I don't know why I'm just feeling that attention should shift away from Yaya Toure.
Why?
4 years down the line,
worked hard for
he's been the African.
He wasn't sleeping. He worked hard for it tirelessly, and he deserves victory at the end of the day.
Anyway, no personal beef. I just feel that Ghana shouldn't have allowed history, to catch up with them. They had an encounter with Côte d'Ivoire, and it ended in a penalty shootout, and they lost. And now it happened again yesterday.
But you can ask the god of football.
They should have won. They should have won that match, on time.
But then you know the power of penalty.
It can go. It can go either ways.
Whichever ways, yeah.
All right. Anyway, that's about. Congratulations, Côte d'Ivoire. They won the CAF Championship again. After they've won it before. But notwithstanding, today on Crossfire, we're taking the show to another level, like we have been saying. And bottom line is just that a lot of things are happening in the corridor. News making headlines and events and actions and reactions. Nigerians are agitated. The world's focus is on Nigeria as we approach the polls. And then I believe it's still news, but we will make it really, we'll blow it up on the show today. INEC went the extra mile to do the unimaginable, but notwithstanding, we will be discussing about it, and then we'll throw more light on it, and then we educate ourselves, and then we take our positions and then feel, let's just know what you think about, what INEC has done. The real reason behind the decision of Independent National Electoral Commission to postpone the general elections have emerged. Chairman of the commission, Atahiru Jega, who has been under immense pressure lately, made the announcement for the shift in the election dates yesterday at a World Press Conference, invoking the provision of the following in the 1999 Constitution of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, as amended, Section 76(2), Section 1162, Section 1322. And Section 178(2). And he also quoted Section 25 of the Electoral Act 2010 as amended. Jega explained that INEC was prepared, but the security challenge and the need to deploy men and materials when the security agencies had issued an advisory made the commission postpone the elections. We had not been forced by anybody to take this decision. The INEC chairman claimed, this is a decision that we had to take by ourselves. There were no pleasant decisions to take, but we had to take the decision, even though we know it wasn't pleasant. Nobody has forced us. Nobody has coerced us. We stand by this decision. However, Jega admitted that with the new date, the commission stands a better opportunity of fine-tuning some of its processes. Although Jega claimed that the level of preparedness of the commission was better than how it was in 2011, there are several things yet to be put in place. A status report published by Vanguard, which cited some sources, revealed that training materials for ad hoc staff are not ready. Presiding officers are also yet to be trained. 700,000 ad hoc staff not recruited yet. PVCs still being printed abroad. The resident electoral commissioners yet to print voters' register. Printers for register still in Abuja. No full complement of ballot boxes. Fake printing ink sent to states from the headquarters rejected. Many states yet to be barons of card readers. The presidential and National Assembly elections, earlier slated for Saturday, February 14th, 2015, will now hold on Saturday, March the 28th, 2015. And the governorship and the state legislative elections we hold on April 11, 2015. Ishoma, I went through this detail so that the show will bother around what INEC said. Not what people are saying, what not people are thinking per se. We will look at that perspective.
But that's the reason why I have, in my own opinion, I want to actually come out and want to discredit some of the later things you read out now. Because if Professor Jega has come out to say INEC is ready, we're ready to give Nigerians a free and fair, credible election, but then for security reasons, then that's the only reason why they're postponing. I mean, if that's the case, then I wouldn't want to focus on the fact that 700,000 ad hoc staffs haven't been trained. So if they haven't been trained, then why has Professor Jega come out to tell us we are ready for the election?
Now, Ishoma, a perspective to this is just that I feel that INEC they don't listen.
No, I feel they're being manipulated right now.
No. I mean, don't go there. No, don't go there. I just feel that they don't listen. There have been agitations, there have been statements that have been made, coming from all corners in the country about the readiness of INEC. INEC, for me, they seems to be ready. And you will recall that on the show, we took time out to dissect, the readiness and the preparedness of INEC for these elections. And there are so many things that are pointers to the fact that INEC is ready. Until, recently, we have all of these agitations and so many other issues coming up and then eventually leading to the postponement. But the interesting thing? I have always been an advocate of these elections being postponed.
Well, I've always been against it.
And yes, and I still no, not particularly.
But I'll tell you why I feel the elections shouldn't have been postponed. I have a feeling why it shouldn't have been postponed. Because now look at it this way now. You're coming out to tell us because of security issues in the Northeast also, and you can't guarantee the safety and security. I won't be surprised, but let us hope, all things being equal would happen, that they won't come out tomorrow and tell us, okay, we're asking for another 6 more weeks to postpone the elections. Now, that's where there'll be, in my own opinion, trouble. Because if now Nigerians are quiet and say, okay, you need 6 more weeks to be able to get security in place, no problem. But do not come out to tell us you need another postponement, because now that will occasion to a whole lot of things. Because now that's where you now have an interim government coming in. The military will come in. And of course, we know. Why are you saying that? Of course, because that's how it pan out. Why? That's how it will pan out.
No, I don't believe so. It still has nothing to do with the military intervention.
Come on, we're still suffering from, coming from Egypt, if I can put it that way, having to finally translate into a democratic situation. Yeah. We wouldn't want any situation whatsoever, any loophole which the Nigerian military will be forced to come and take over government.
No, I mean, in a democratic setting,
because this is what it's
in a democratic setting,
like.
In a democratic setting, I mean, the place of the military is known in every country.
So if
no matter how bad our democracy is today, military intervention is not an option.
Okay.
They should not even think about it.
Okay, but this is Africa, because we have seen how this has become a prevalent occurrence in some African nations.
It does not matter. They should stay. No, they should stay where they belong. They are supposed to protect the borders. They are supposed to.
Beautiful.
To militate against external forces and all of that.
You're beginning to borrow some of my suggestion in the last show. This was some of the points I stated. But if that is the issue...
But I still want them involved in elections anyway. I still want the electionary process to be militarized. That has not changed.
Can I ask you a question?
Oh, go ahead.
Because now we have seen how the United States and the United Kingdom and some other foreign nations have come out to condemn the postponement in our own interest, which Nigerians are not...
They should leave us. They should leave us.
But let me ask you, of course,
they should leave us. Foreign interjection into our process here. No, they can advise.
We cannot live in isolation. No nation can live in isolation.
I understand. But
at the end of the day,
country. We know our peculiarities.
But when we're not managing our problems well, that means
this is not a problem. This is not a big problem, Ishoma. Postponement of elections based on some certain certain reasons, especially when it borders around security. It should be something hold on. Let me finish that statement. It should be something that the nations of the world whose eyes and focus is on Nigeria to be able to...
The whole world is watching Nigeria right now.
I've always told you. Don't forget the last time we brought this issue of security on. Ishoma, let me remind you quickly. I said that in the troubled, northeastern part of Nigeria, I said it categorically. I said, let INEC take a position that we need the very cohesive effort of the military, all the security agents, to be present to provide security for the election process to take place in the northeastern part of the country. So they should isolate the northeast while election takes place in all the other areas, and then they should fix. I would have expected the INEC would have continued. Would have just managed this process by postponing this particular election to this time and capture that elections will not be taking place in the northeastern part of the country until after the general elections, where we can now muster all security operatives and everything to go and provide security for the northeastern.
That would have been disadvantageous because at the end of the day, some miscreants, since you're now saying, okay, postpone the elections in the northeast till after the general elections. Other southern part, miscreants will have come for and to do all sorts to discredit the elections which will be taking place in the other parts of the nation.
What we are saying is that the announcement of the result, don't forget that May 29 is still the time for inauguration. So what I'm saying is that whatever result INEC collates, they should let it know that it is minus the elections in the northeastern part of the country. It is minus.
But it will still have its negative impact because when you announce a result, or when you announce the result of the election that
they will say it's not conclusive. They will put the clause.
Some political parties, when they know also, and they've been able to calculate their the risks also and their factors. Okay, if so far I'm losing in the south, what is the possibility I would be able to recapture the north? And now they will do all sorts of things. That includes rigging and manipulation of the vote.
It will now be impossible. Do you know why?
It won't be.
Don't forget that the reason why we delayed.
What if they use the security agencies?
Don't forget that the reason why we delayed was to have, an excessively bigger frame of security provided in the northeast. Not because of the elections per se, but because there's every possibility that BH may come again to want to disrupt the process. And so you will provide security of lives and property, and at the same time, you would have provided adequate security for the elections.
If for the past 4 years, Nigerians have been suffering the scourge of Boko Haram intensely, what makes you think this next 6 weeks will be enough for them to tackle it? Considering the fact also that people have been dying and the attacks of the Boko Haram sect has been increased within the election period.
Do you know in recent times, in the last 1 week or two, the activities have been curbed?
So if the activities were curbed, shouldn't it have been wiser for us to have been able to captivate on that and still go according to plans?
See, let me tell you something. Jega came out.
Because it's one thing for you to say that activities...
For the very first time, it's been quiet. A lot of assumptions, and presumptions were put in place to create a make-believe that we're actually ready for the elections. And Jega was was trying to be credible enough or honorable enough, I prefer that word, to allow the elections to go on as... honorable man. To go as planned. But on the second note, he sat back and he looked at it. That postponing for 6 weeks may eventually give us an opportunity to have a better run of the elections than to go ahead with the February 14th, which is just in a few days' time.
For a lot of Nigerians really looked forward to the fact that let's just have these elections and let's do away with it.
You see, sentiments aside,
these are not sentiments now. These are not sentiments because these Nigerians who are speaking this way are thinking for the greater good. Because at the end of the day, if postponing the elections actually make us more vulnerable.
How?
In a lot of sense, particularly as regards, boycotting the elections in the sense that any political party which it will favor can actually take advantage of this fact and begin to use security agents to their own advantage. And for a lot of Nigerians,
I disagree.
What in the mind of Nigerians right now is the reason why this postponement was advocated for was just because some certain political parties want to perfect their rigging process.
Now, see. Let's be objective here.
I'm speaking the minds of a lot of Nigerians.
The fact that there have been some level of, some level
of... Hold on. Do you blame them?
The government of the day has come out very strong, to advocate for the postponement. We understand that very, very well. And don't forget that a lot of the reasons that they have been agitating and that they have been soliciting for the postponement of these elections is not it doesn't bother around the fact that PDP is not ready for the elections. They are considering a couple of issues that INEC eventually came up with. Now, let me tell you something. Circumstantial evidence may make it really look as if INEC actually danced to a tune that is already being played by the ruling party.
A lot of people believe so. A lot of people believe so.
But that's not true. But that's not true.
The only individual.
That means we don't even trust the independence of INEC.
Look, listen. We know how before INEC came up, we saw how the kite was flown, first of all, in London by a certain individual when he began to clamor for the postponement of the elections. Yeah. Now, the postponement should have come from INEC first, not from the National Security Advisor. Okay. It should have come from INEC first of all, because INEC should have been able to calculate.
But what of it? INEC was
still insisting that all things being equal, these elections can still go on.
Is that not to tell you that they are independent?
But why was the kite flown? First of all, that the election should be shifted. Because it was,
anybody can say that.
That was the foundation.
Don't forget that I've always been an advocate of the postponement of this election.
And later on, we saw how some people began to dance to that tune. Some people began to dance to the tune. If truly you're after the interests of Nigerians and the security of lives and property, then we should have seen like an increase, not giving us 360,000 security agents. You should have been able to increase that number. Look, now listen. Our Air Force and our Navy are not participating fully in the fight against Boko Haram. You and I know that you can't leave that alone to the Nigerian army to combat, because the truth is, for you to gain victory against any form of insurgency, you need the Air Force most especially, because they are above. They see the situation on the ground. Once they deploy some certain missiles, they can curb and in fact take out these insurgents in less than a week. But you and I know that that has not been deployed.
It has not happened. Let me tell you something.
So how do they expect to win the war against Boko Haram in time to give Nigerians free and fair elections?
You have asked me a question. Can I answer? Now, the bottom line here is that, let me use some military terms to explain some certain things. There's something we call collateral damage.
Of course.
Now, collateral damage.
Been able to
hold on. Let me answer your question.
Perspective.
Yes, that's what I'm saying. See, one of the major reasons why the United States has not come to assist Nigeria to fight the insurgents hold on.
Because they have come out on several locations. They have come out on several locations to aid, to help us.
Question.
But we are not valuing the assistance they're ready to give us.
Okay, now, can I make my point? I brought that point up. You should have allowed me to just finish my point. And the point is very simple. Hold on. It's very simple. America will not come into Nigeria to help you fight against criminals who are Nigerians.
They can help you.
Do you understand?
They can help.
To come and help you kill your people? To come and help you kill your people?
No, look.
I mean, we're talking about killing Nigerians here.
If you're saying they help you kill your people, they're not coming to kill Nigerians. They're coming to kill Boko Haram insurgents.
And in the process,
who by their dictates and activities have poised a war against Nigerians.
No, because so
they're not coming to kill you and I. They're coming to kill insurgents.
The Nigerian insurgency has not been linked. It has not been linked with any other external forces. That is the reason.
Are you saying,
if it has been linked to Al-Qaeda, if it has been linked to ISIS,
of course, they've been linked to Al-Qaeda.
America would have stepped in long time.
They've been linked to even Al-Shabaab in Mali. Also, when they started,
it's getting hot as usual in the studio. I'm really feeling so hot, and that's because this country that we call Nigeria is on fire, and things are happening, and we need solution to most of the problems that the country is engaged in right now. We're going on a short break. When we come back, we're bringing a very important guest, into the studio to join us in this conversation. I will not tell you more than that. All you need to do is to just stay there and stay tuned, and we'll be right back. All right, we are back. This is Crossfire. Before we went on the short break, I promised, and we told you that we're bringing a guest to you, someone that you'll be interested in meeting. And that's why, we have made good of our promise, and he's here in the studio with us. And I believe very strongly that this man is loaded, is well prepared, even for the office that he's vying for. Ladies and gentlemen, all viewers, wherever you are, I have the privilege of introducing to you Comrade Ayodele Akele. He is the governorship candidate for the National Conscience Party. He is running, supposedly should be running for the elections February 14th, but due to foreseen circumstances, the elections have been postponed. All right, Comrade, you're welcome to the show. Good morning to you.
Good morning.
And all of that. It's so very interesting. You were supposed to start the show with us, but you just couldn't because you've been, you left home since about 5 o'clock and you're just getting here. And that is amazing. What is your solution to traffic in Lagos if eventually you are elected as the governor of Lagos State?
Well, we've always said it at all fora that for 16 years, the APC government has no solution to traffic problem, situation, and we are going to address it frontally, starting with, if I'm coming to VI, I don't have to pass through Ikorodu Road, for Christ's sake. We need a ring road around Lagos, so that you can just branch to wherever you are going. Once the Ikorodu Road is deadlocked, it's going to affect all parts of Lagos. Our first solution is to ensure that we have it. Apart from rehabilitating all the roads, we need to construct a ring road around the entire Lagos. So you can be branching off. You don't have to pass through Yaba. If you are coming to VI, you don't have to pass through Ikorodu Road. This is the vogue. All over the places, there has to be a ring road. So these are major solutions to it. Beyond that, when I was coming, of course, you know that the roads are flooded with commuters, no vehicles. We are planning to have load Lagos State road with 50,000 articulate buses. Buses and not Scandinavian buses, the Bolivia type or the BRT, with AC. Because we want to uplift the standard of living of our people.
And Lagos being a mega city.
We have to uplift the standard of our people, not rickety BRT buses that is 99 standing, 49 sitting.
But sir, don't you think the traffic situation in Lagos is as a result of the high influx of people we have in the state?
No.
So are you saying you will send people back to their various states because you want to read?
If I'm coming to VI, I don't have to pass through Ikorodu Road compulsory.
But we have our waterways.
Yes, we are going Of course, we are going to complement it with the development, the rail. I'm only saying that at the road level right now, people shouldn't be heading towards the same direction, passing through the same route. We have to decentralize the movement to Lagos with a ring road where you can just take your exit.
If you're saying you're going to construct a ring road where people can branch off, we know, for example, looking at the structure of Lagos, before now, Lagos had no basic planning, but we've seen how the APC government, from the time they emerged as ruling Lagos, we've seen how they've been trying to uplift the standards of living.
They've been trying.
Come on, we believe you should give credit to them. But are you saying, for example, now, looking at the geographical location of Lagos State, knowing fully well that majority of the landmass in Lagos is it's basically occupied by the sea. And with the few landmass left, you have major companies occupying. Are you saying you're going to send off these companies, demolish these companies, which have been in existence for over 100 years, just to provide a ring road?
I've not said so. I have not said I'm going to send anybody away, but essentially, fundamentally, tackling traffic situation in Lagos requires a ring road around Lagos, where you can branch off. I've said it times that number. You don't have to pass through Ikorodu Road if you are coming to this place. That's the essence. Beyond that, well, 16 years down the line, if you want me to articulate some of the obvious shortcomings of this government, that's the essence of our coming. I mean, we are surrounded by water. There's no water to drink. We have evidence of typhoid all over the places because we are drinking poor water. They call pure water. So we need. I mean, if you go to governor's office, they don't drink pure water. It is for you and me, poor people, that take pure water. So why can we not have water for 16 years?
Have you ever been within the corridors of power? Have you ever worked with any of the government?
I was the Labour leader for more than a decade in Lagos. I was victimized because before I was scapegoated by Bola Ahmed Tinubu for insisting on the rights of the workers of Lagos. I'm a chartered quantity surveyor. I was a project manager at Lagos State Development and Property Corporation. I was a project quantity surveyor. All those projects in VI, Adeni, Joes, I participated in the project. Even during the Jakonde housing program, I was a pupil quantity surveyor. We're holding meeting in Bishop Street in Jakonde's house. So I know government terrain. I have never had political post, but I was the head of Labour for decades. So I know what
if you were the head of Labour, a whole lot of Nigeria, especially our workers, know fully well that, they would say in their own opinion that, nothing was done by the Labour to protect our interests, to protect the interests of workers, knowing fully well that most workers in Nigeria are being victimized. So what did you do?
I was the head of Labour in Lagos. I don't know of the Nigeria.
No, we're talking about Lagos.
And when I insisted on their rights...
What were the rights you insisted on?
It was just ordinary fighting for minimum wage. And the government refused to pay. We went on strike and I was persecuted. I was vilified. I was thrown out of the job for insisting. So it takes a lot of courage to insist on the rights of the workers. For 14 years, there's no repair have come my way. I'm sure Lagos workers are watching what I'm saying now. I'm not faking. The truth is that I was consistent in the demand for their welfare services, and I'm not even changed up to today. So I was thrown out of the job because of them.
All right.
So you cannot say that...
But if you're saying it was because of minimum wage...
Let's concentrate on the election.
Okay, no problem.
Let's concentrate on the election because, we're taking, another toll, coming into your role as a Labour leader. Now, Lagosians will want to know, why are you going for governorship? Why not House of Assembly? Why not a lower, starting from a lower, place, and then you can rise over the time? Why the governorship?
Well, first and foremost, I'm qualified eminently to be the governor, or a governor in Lagos State. There's no, by all provision of the Constitution, by experience, I'm qualified. I was the head of Labour. I was the former secretary of National. I was the PR. I was the pioneer gen of National Students. I was elected at the University of Georgia. I have the pedigree, I have the antecedent, and I'm very close to Chief Gani Fahimi. I was a member of his campaign committee when he was contesting for presidency. So, and I've tried my hand at the local government level. Of course, incumbency, NCP has what it takes. We have the pedigree, we have the antecedent,
we have
the material.
Opportunity to bring Mr. Martin on over to the show.
It's not a question of complex. It's a question of being rigged. If somebody like Chief Gani Fahimi could not win an election in this country, there's no hope in this country. So that's what happened. When I tried House of Assembly in Agege, it was a directive from the governor then that we don't want to see this man in the House of Assembly. It's going to cause a lot of. He won't allow this and. Do you have
any proof to back up your claim right now?
Because
we believe he's listening.
I'm a politician. I was there. In fact, I had the highest number of votes in Lagos House of Assembly.
You have your proof.
If you go to the internet, it's there. It was doctored, and they were changing.
So why didn't you go to court? Why didn't you take a matter to court?
This one is not for me to. This one is not for me to go to court. Chief Gani Fahimi was our head, and in fact, he called me at a particular point. When they wanted to lynch me, that we cannot go into any areas where the election is going on. You know, things happen in the field. He said, okay, I will call the commissioner of police, don't risk your life. It's as bad as that. So when you contest election, and incumbency is there, they have interest, they will spend money, they will spend everything to ensure that opposition parties don't have upper hand.
Comrade, I want to quickly ask, what exactly informed your choice of National Conscience Party as a platform, considering that like most of the people in Lagos are not even very familiar with the operations of the party or the existence of it even in the first place. You understand? It's politically speaking, it is a non-popular party. And then why that? Having the pedigree, the antecedents, and your involvement.
It's a matter of opinion, but the truth is that that is what is destroying Nigerian polity. PDP tomorrow, APC next tomorrow, next one Labour Party. You must be consistent. Something must tie you to a particular political party. Ideology, programs, manifesto, and the credibility of the platform. Without any modesty, I'm saying it here openly, there is no political party that has the credibility of National Conscience Party. It's the only political party that has no stigma of any nature. I stand to be challenged. Okay. You want to talk about other political parties? You may want to tell us the manifesto. Of course, I will tell you, they are guilty of corruption. They've been tested, and they are causing mayhem all over the places. Have you ever seen any NCP involved? I've contested several times.
What if it's because people do not?
No. It is the pedigree, it is the platform that matters. What's the candidate? What's the platform? This is a credible platform, and I cannot abandon. You want to look at the program of the party, you want to look at the antecedent, you want to look at the pedigree. People should embrace not people that are joined from one political party. It has destroyed the polity. So our program is pro-people, masses party. We want to remove multiple taxation in Lagos State that everybody has been complaining about. There's no water to drink for 16 years. We want to ensure that water flows in every house in Lagos. When I was in South Africa, I was drinking from the tap. Zuma drinks from the public tap. That's what Mandela drank. We must have public tap running in Lagos, in every house, in every school, in the police station, in hospitals. Why can we, in this Lagos, 21st century Lagos, still be having all these pushing water vendors? I mean, it's an abnormality. Minimum wage, the workers are suffering. People used to call me, they are earning 2,000 naira as pension after 35 years of service. It's callous, it's wicked. So, workers,
but do you think water alone can solve all the problems Nigerians are facing right now? What about health? Now we know
I'm going. I just touched water. I'm telling you the importance of water. There's a UN specification that says water, every human being in a day needs 40 liters of water. And for the poor people, it must be provided free of charge. I drink free water when I go to Switzerland, when I go for program. So, Lagosians must have access to free water. It's very, very important. For the workers, they are suffering in silence. How can somebody that has spent 35 years in service be taking 5,000 naira? And there is a governor, there's a fraudulent, dubious governor's pension. That Lagos government will spend almost 5 billion on 2 governors after leaving office. They'll be earning salary of incumbent governor for the rest of their life, and many they cannot pay.
Tell us more about the plans of the party.
Minimum wage, 40 to 50,000 minimum wage. Pensioners, that is the end of their suffering once NCP emerges as a waste management. It is ironical that. We want to uplift the standard of living of our people. I've told you, we are going to flood Lagos 50,000 buses. And in solving unemployment problem, we are going to employ, in the process, mechanics, engineers, drivers, conductors. And at the workshop, so many trades, it's going to open up avenue. We are going to have the old industrial estate, Ikeja, Apapa, in that was small. Is Akpapa and Jewa of those Awolowo good days. We are the industry for 60 years of APC. Excuse me. We are going to establish industrial estate in Ikorodu. One is going to be in Ekpe, and the other one is going to be in Badagry, so that we can take care of our teeming, jobless people. I never looked for job when I left school. That's what we want to return to those old good days, provide industry for our people. Of course, transportation, I've mentioned that we are going to flood Lagos, apart from the rail, and waste management, and health, of course. The truth is that our health, our hospitals, public hospitals in Lagos is just good for me and you and the poor people. I'm very sorry, with due respect, I'm sorry to be personal. When the former governor of Lagos State has knee injury, he took it to London. He took it to London. If the hospital is good enough, he won't go. So it's only good for us. When the father of the incumbent governor was sick, he took him to US. Can you afford? So we are going to make Lagos State Hospital workable for all poor people, and that's where I'm going to be attending. That's why my family will attend.
Would you mandate your officers to use it?
Example,
would you put a ban that no traveling
I'm saying it openly. It's a commitment.
And if you do not do that,
you expose me. That's what Ghana stands for. You know, because what is good for the good is for the Ghana. If anything that's not good for the people of Lagos, the hospital, then I won't go there. So I will go there, and if there are shortcomings, my commissioner will go. Everybody will see. My family, that's where they are going to patronize.
All right, let me quickly ask you this question.
I'm not finished. You want me to? Okay. For the education.
Education.
When we were small, the school, Alma Mater, King's College, the student-teacher ratio is 1 to 20 or 23 maximum, including by streamer, where, in due respect, the present governor attended. But today, the reality is that student-teacher ratio is 1 to 100, 1 to 120. That's town hall meeting. How can we concentrate? And that is affecting the education system in Lagos. We want to declare a state of emergency in education system in Lagos, particularly
the present government have spent a lot of money
to improve
on education.
We are critical of the spending. We are critical of what's on the ground. I'm not faking. That's what's on the ground.
Can I ask you this as regards education? Do you believe we can have free education,
of
even
course,
up to your university?
We can. The resources is there.
In Lagos or in Nigeria?
We can. There is a cesspool of corruption. There is a dangerous drainage pipe.
Do you have a roadmap on how you can improve education?
Of course.
You have a plan.
Is it sustainable?
It is sustainable.
Is it sustainable to make education free even to the tertiary level?
Not just free, but quality. We're not talking about free alone, but we're looking at the quality and standard.
I attended quality education in those days. I'm proud of my alma mater. So what I'm trying, we want to return to those goals. I've given you a typical example. We can sustain it, and the money Lagos State has the resources.
But are you considering also the population of Lagos? I mean, we know back then the population was not as timid as what it is today.
The serious corruption in Lagos State that is going on, they can still do those little things. We are going to curb that corruption. There is a particular agency in the government office, they call it Alpha Beta, that drains more than 50% of the resources of Lagos. We are going to discontinue the service of the money will be accredited to Lagos, and we are going to spend that money to develop Lagosian. How can you tell me, for Christ's sake, Agege is crying for development, Apapa, Ajegule, Oshodi, Mushi, and the government of Lagos has the infantry, has the immorality, has the temerity to go and be building, a new city on top of sea.
But sir,
land on top of sea, what over 1.5 trillion naira? For who?
But they're trying to expand the city because of the population.
For 250,000
they're looking at the population.
Group, the people that want to cast their vote, the poor people, they're asking for their vote. It's not logical. On top of sea, you are building a new.
Okay, sir.
If that money is spent on Agege and the other suburbs of Lagos State, it's going to return into El Dorado. Okay. Whose benefit is that place for? It is for the elites.
But sir, if you believe Lagos State government are corrupt, why didn't you come out to give out these facts to expose them before now? Why did you wait? I
don't have to wait.
Why did you wait till now that you are contesting?
Of course, this is our strong point.
But then you should have. We know Lagos has stood for the people.
Except you tell me that I'm telling lies.
No, I'm not saying you're telling lies.
There is no time that is late for you to.
Does your party have any plans in place to have a say in this election? What are the chances of NCP winning these elections?
We have a chance, provided a level playing ground is provided for the political parties.
I've not seen any of your posters anywhere. No handbills anywhere.
People do not know.
No television.
People do not know that you're contesting. No jingle.
Can you bring me to your television free of charge? We don't have the treasury, and that's why they are brandishing all these things, because They have stolen money to consolidate themselves in office. We are doing our modest campaign. We put our poster in some place. They will remove it. We put it at the roundabout. They will following money. They paste 100 on top of just 200 or 200 posters that we pasted. That is the reality. So how can you see my poster when
Two quick questions because of our time.
I mean, why haven't you used social media?
It's there. It's flooded with social media.
Yeah, because of our time.
Go on.
INEC postponed the elections. What is your take on the postponement?
Personally, I have no objection. Because as I speak to you, I have not been able to pick my PVC card for the same reason all over the place. A lot of people that are likely to vote for me too, they are still hanging around to pick their PVC. For that reason, I support it. Secondly, there's nothing wrong if it's still within the confines of the Constitution. Nobody can set agenda for NCP. We are independent. Look at Lagos State government. Why is the APC shedding crocodile tears?
Okay, so,
excuse me. They postponed local government election since last year.
So we're looking at our time.
They postponed local government election since last year. Now they have the morality, effrontery, the audacity to be saying that we don't even know if our local government election in Lagos State led by APC have been postponed indefinitely. Why are they talking both sides of their mouth? And they are criticizing.
What's a social media platform? Because you said your flooded social media.
Yes.
So what's social media platform? So people can check.
You can check, yeah. Facebook, Twitter. We have a campaign manager that is in charge of that totally. What's
the individual's social media handle or name?
This is one of the leaflets. I mean, these are leaflets.
Okay.
And if you didn't invite us to here, maybe out of your magnanimity, people will not know. We can't afford adverts. You don't know the cost of those adverts. You know the cost of all those posters.
You don't
have the resources. Nobody is funding us. INEC is not funding us. It's the little stipend from our members that we are using to popularize. And we believe this is a party that we have goodwill. If you bother about the antecedent of party and the platform, this is a party that Nigerians should embrace.
Comrade, we've run out of time. I'm going to give you an opportunity, and you have just 10 seconds to say that. What's your final word for Lagosians?
My final word for Lagosians is that they should shine their eyes. Watch the platform, watch the candidate, watch the pedigree. I have no stigma of any nature, including my party. But you cannot say that of other political parties. So people should gravitate towards National Conscience Party, founded by Chief Gani Fahimi, a man of international repute, a man of unquestionable character. I mean, that has no pedigree, no stigma of any type. So it is NCP that people should embrace. Our symbol is the eye. Just vote for NCP. I used to say,
we'll leave that to Nigerians to decide.
All right, just like I promised you, I wish that we have more time on the show. Traffic kept the comrade from joining us from the beginning of the show. But yet, we tried as much as possible. I want to sincerely apologize to all our callers. I know many of you will want to call him to the show. But because we have a very short time to engage him, we decided not to take any call on the show. Thank you so very much for being a part of our show today. We have come to another very interesting package of it. We promise you, since we have time, that we'll bring Comrade back so that Lagosians will be able to ask him all the necessary questions. Thank you, and stay out of trouble.
Do not drink and drive. Bye.